Bonsoir mesdames et messieurs, bienvenue. Je vais être très très bref. Donc c'est au nom de la Cinémathèque suisse que je vous dis bonsoir, puisque la Cinémathèque suisse est très heureuse d'accueillir depuis maintenant plusieurs années le LUF au Casino de Montbenon. Et c'est la première fois que la Cinémathèque accueille le LUF ici, dans une opération qu'on a un petit peu contribué à aider à monter avec le LUF. Et nous sommes très contents de cet événement ce soir. Moi, je me sens aussi un tout petit peu étrange parce que j'ai eu l'honneur ou le déshonneur de présenter la version, enfin, on va dire, le remake du show de Broadway de Hairspray de John Waters, le film de Adam Shankman, à Locarno en première internationale. Et quelque part, je suis très heureux que finalement la Cinémathèque puisse, grâce au LUF, rendre hommage à ce grand maître du cinéma avec ses premières œuvres, et notamment Ugly Shame que vous allez voir dans quelques instants. Mais ici, ce n'est pas la place, ce n'est pas la Cinémathèque suisse de vous parler ce soir, c'est au LUF, au fameux LUF, et à Julien Baudeville.
C'est un petit peu intimidant de se retrouver ici, c'est super drôle. Pour commencer par un grand merci à Frédéric et à toute l'équipe de la Cinémathèque pour nous avoir permis de monter tout ça. C'était pas gagné d'avance, mais on y arrivait. Et puis surtout de pouvoir le faire ici, c'est vrai que voilà, c'est un côté super émouvant en fait. Je vais être aussi très très bref, j'ai pas grand chose à dire parce que je crois que vous n'êtes pas venus pour moi de toute façon. Donc cet événement, c'est clair que c'est un des événements les plus marquants de l'histoire du festival, parce que John Waters, c'est quand même l'une des personnes qui nous a le plus inspiré dans notre programmation au long de ces dernières années. Et du coup, forcément, ça nous rend tous complètement nerveux, mais on est tous extrêmement contents et ravis de l'accueillir. Plein de banalités. Durant le spectacle, je vous demanderai de ne prendre aucune photo, de ne pas filmer, d'éteindre vos téléphones portables. C'est très important, c'est par respect aussi pour John Waters. Après le One Man Show Otis Fitzgerald, il y aura une session de questions-réponses. Durant cette question, il y a des micros qui vont circuler dans la salle. Durant cette session de questions-réponses, là, vous pourrez prendre des photos et filmer John Waters, le mitrailler comme vous voulez, mais s'il vous plaît, soyez raisonnables. Donc voilà, on va passer aux choses sérieuses et je vous demande d'applaudir très fort Monsieur John Waters.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Wow. Thank you. Thank you, and welcome to the John Waters Impersonation Tour. Thank you. Wow. Thank you. If we could turn up the house lights so I can see everybody and dim mine a little. Yeah, so I can see. If we can bring up the house lights all the way. More. More. All the way up. So I can see the whole audience. Just turn the lights on so we can do some questions and I can actually see. Because with these, no, bring up all the lights inside. You could maybe turn mine way down.
Plus de lumière dans la salle, s'il vous plaît.
You know, you all were great tonight because I know the language issue, and you know, I talk fast and slang. I've had it simultaneous translation before where they rip them off and run out of the theater. I've had it with deaf people doing it too. You should see that. They really give up. But you all were amazing, and thank you for, you know, being so appreciative in a different language. Not that hard. Now turn the audience in the house up. Well, I can see a little. Does anybody have any questions? We do have microphones, but you can yell it out, and I can also yell out the question on the mic so we can't hear it. Now, I know it's always hard to start here. Not this hard, right? No one has a question? All right, yeah.
So have you met Judith Butler? She made a book that has a similar title, Gender Trouble, Female Trouble.
No, I don't think I have. What is the book?
It's a book, it's a queer theory book.
No, I know Ruby Rich's book, and I've read a couple books. And female trouble, when I was young, it was a term your parents used politely about a woman that had any gynecological issues. It was that she has female trouble. That's where that came from. And so I made it as a title and also a song that Divine sang. And Mink Stoll recently has recorded a new version of it, which is really, she does it really beautifully, and a very jazzy version. So it's really one of the only songs I ever wrote in the rap music bankable bitch, right? So my two greatest hits, and I'm amazed. I get from BMI in the mail every once in a while, like maybe $1,000 a year. And I think, if I got that, what does Madonna get? My God. Yeah, now that's like a Poseidon adventure. Now I can see, right? Anybody else at all? Yes?
What do you think of how they show Baltimore in The Wire?
I think The Wire is actually the best TV show that ever came on television. I think it's an amazing show. It is way more loved in Europe than it is in America in a way. When it came out, it got very good reviews, but almost no awards. The ratings were not good. But what happened was, when everybody got the box sets of the DVDs and watched each season, it was like reading a great novel. I mean, The Wire is one of the only shows where you can't read a magazine and watch it at the same time. Most all the people that worked on my movies worked on it. Vincent Perennia, who did the trailer in Pink Flamingos, did the production design for The Wire. Pat Moran cast it. Many of the crew were my crew. So it was a great show, I think. And David Simon, he also made one called The Coroner that's really good, and he also made one called Homicide, a TV show, but all based on books. And it's a very true picture of Baltimore. All Baltimore isn't like that. The governor and the mayor, they hate that show. They hate that show because they think it makes Baltimore look so terrible. No, it doesn't, because intellectuals have read it and like it. So I think it's a good thing. I always say to the governor, not everybody likes tall ships, and this other crap they try to say about Baltimore. So I think it was a great show, an amazing show. I'm glad you liked it. Yes?
What are you doing on election night?
Election night, where am I? I'm trying to think. I'm in, I got the ballot when you're away because I wasn't sure I'm in New York. I'm going to watch it, certainly. But I'm going to vote already when I get home before it. I don't know what's going to happen. I really don't. I think it's scary because no one's excited about either side, really. In the last election, every college kid was out knocking on doors. No one's doing that now for either side. So I'm just afraid people aren't going to vote. And if they don't vote, I don't know what will happen. I always vote. I voted twice once. I know that's terrible to say, but this was in the 60s when I was more radical. I think the problem with voting is, I don't know about here, but in America, people dress so badly when they vote. They wear their most conservative, frumpy outfits. Men wear khakis and women wear maxi skirts, and so when you're in there, I always say you should go to wear something low cut, cruise when you're waiting in line. Get people dirty, when you go in that booth, touch yourself. Really, make it a sexual experience, voting. That's why I had in Pecker, I had having sex in a voting booth, and I did an art piece, so I always liked the idea of that. If you saw a voting booth, of course they don't even have voting booths anymore, it's a computer. But where I live, they still have little booths rocking back and forth. What's going on in there? Oh my God. It would be a Democrat. Anyone else? Yes, sir.
What about your mustache?
What about my mustache? I've had it since I was 19. I wanted to be Little Richard. I shave it every day on the top. I clip it on the bottom and draw it on Maybelline Velvet Black. And I keep trying to get the Maybelline ad. Don't you think I should get that ad? But I haven't been able to get it yet. So I've just had it forever. I don't even realize I have it in a way. The only time I would ever shave it off is if I went to prison because I couldn't get the stuff to maintain it, or if I ever wanted to really go underground and hide, I guess I could, shave it off and grow a beard. No one would ever recognize me. But now Patti Smith has one, so.
This is not the first question about your mustache. I'm discovering your work because I'm living with someone who's a cinema producer. I didn't know you knew your work before.
Well, good, thank that person. They don't get nicer, right?
And your mustache also. Are you gay?
Oh, yes. But, believe me, that's not a stop the press issue. No headlines there, but I'm gaily incorrect, because here's how I feel. Gay is not enough anymore. I try to think about being juvenile delinquents, and I think I forgot to talk about Crybaby tonight. Did I? Maybe. I didn't talk about it, right? Okay. Well, Crybaby in that movie was about juvenile delinquents. And so today, what is a juvenile delinquent? You see people, when I was young, you were first of all a rock and roller, then you were a hippie, then you were punk, and then grunge, and then a gangster. But if you're a bad kid now, you're a hacktivist. You're sitting down in your parents' bedroom shutting down governments on your computer. But there's no fashion. That's the problem. What do you wear if you're a hacktivist? It's just bad posture. So I try to help people be juvenile delinquents today. And I tell people, gay is not enough anymore. It's a good start. But I would say we have too many gay people. Come in. We want you to go back in. We have enough, really. It's not a numbers game. And now in rich kid schools, everybody says they're gay. At NYU, it's gay by name. And a lot of women pretend they're gay to turn on a straight man. Don't do that. Make them do it too. It's called a bro job. Yeah. They won't do it. So then I think that then gay people can't also think everyone's gay, because they aren't. But a lot of gay people think they are. In Baltimore, old queens used to say when they try to pick up some guy, and the guy say, "No, I'm straight." They'd say, "So is spaghetti till you get it heated up." That's a good line. But I try to think about other minorities that we have to stick up for. In Provincetown, where I live in the summer, straight people are the minority. So I wanted to have a straight parade for straight people where they had parents that said, "My son is straight and we're so proud of him." And they would have hetero folk dances like the Electric Slide, and male impersonators, while straight guys would get dressed up like Burt Reynolds. It could really work. Or then you think, well, now a psychiatrist told me this is really true, that at rich kid schools, when you go to a psychiatrist, LBGD, all those initials, you have to say, "Are you a sexual person?" And they say, "What does that mean? That you prefer masturbation to real sex?" Well, isn't that everybody? But anyway, but the problem is, these people feel that if they have sex with someone else, that they're being unfaithful to themselves. Which I love this. I mean, this is the new battle with the Catholic Church. I'm going to marry myself. And then asexual people. They call each other aces, and they are organized. They say, "We're standing on the edge of gay acceptance." And these are people like Paul Bowles, who supposedly said he didn't like sex with a woman or a man. He found it both repulsive. Well, these people really need someone to stick up for them. And the minority I care the most about, that offends the most people, are heterosexual men and women that are together that can have children but choose not to. These are my people. That's my Crybaby rap, I forgot. Yes. Oh, sorry, I gave you a rather long-winded answer to your question. Yeah.
Gay or not.
Yes.
No more questions. I just want to say to you, I admire you, and I think you are a beautiful person.
Oh, that's very nice. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you. All right. Yes, sir.
How do you manage to know all the
Know all the what?
Communities and the minorities and all the young languages. How do you manage to?
Well, I keep up. I have youth spies. You know, I don't go see rap groups at 4 a.m., but people tell me about it and I give them drugs. You have to really have youth spies that are out there telling you about new stuff. I still do go out. You know, when I hitchhiked across the country, really, my age friends were so uptight I was doing this. But all the young kids said, "Can I come?" You know, so I don't think I had more fun than when I was young that people are having now. I think I look ahead. I think tomorrow's going to be the best day. I mean, I have fun when I was young, but I don't think the 60s I had more fun than you have fun now when you first do your bad thing for art when you're 15. So I'm looking forward. I'm always interested in weird human behavior. But I've always said that I make films about people that think they're normal, but are actually crazy. Where all the people I know in New York think they're crazy, but they're really normal. So that's kind of where my interest lies. I don't understand how people can ever say they're bored. I mean, just walk outside. I mean, I'm never bored in my life. Just watch people. Human behavior is that I can't understand is what has always interested me. That's when I wrote Role Models. It was all about people that had much more extreme lives than I ever had. If it was doing something great and popular, doing something terrible, and how they could ever get over it. So I'm always interested in extreme lives. I think you have to go out. I think you need to go out. You have to see what's going on. Even if you go out and have a terrible time and see a bad movie, well, then you can use that later in life. You won't make the same mistakes. So the worst is just staying home and never doing anything. That's something that I find hard to take, and eventually you will bore yourself if you do that. But I'm really a workaholic. I mean, 5 days a week I work, I drink one night. I'm alcoholic one night. And my shrink said, that's a good plan. I think, really. But people say to me, how can you be so organized and everything? Because otherwise I'd have to go to work for somebody else. You know, I can go to work in my underpants in the next room every morning. I just have to think up something weird in the morning and sell it in the afternoon. One more question. Who will it be? Yes, sir.
European cinema, do you like it?
I love European cinema much better. I mean, Ulrich Seidel, he's my favorite director from Vienna. What an amazing director. Gaspar Noé. You know, most all my 10 best lists that I write for Art Forum every year is almost all European or foreign cinema. So yes, and I continue to see them all the time. I'm a big fan. My favorite movie of the year was, I'm going blank. The English movie where everybody sings in the cafe.
Deep Blue Sea.
Deep Blue Sea. Yeah, that was my favorite movie of the year. Now, that's not something you might expect that I would pick. But at the same time, you know, I liked, you know, Irreversible. You know, I also tour with movies and show, like I'm showing here. I'm showing Zoo, the movie, the documentary about them. A really good, serious art documentary about a man that was killed by being fucked by a horse. But it's really a good movie. There's lots of lingering shots of empty stalls. And I'm showing Abby, one of the most hilarious blaxploitation movies that you can never see because it came out right after The Exorcist, and The Exorcist sued and won, and they couldn't show it. But Abby is this very prim and proper marriage counselor, an African-American woman, and when the devil gets her, she's like, you know, well then if you spent more time with each other, and suddenly she said, and then fuck the shit out of him, and her head starts spinning around. It's so good. It's really, really good. So I'm trying at the same time to show really arty movies too. You know, I had a television show in America called John Waters Presents Movies That Will Corrupt You on a gay channel, but I showed like Clean Shaven, which has nothing to do with gay people. And I said, you think coming out of the closet's bad? Try being a schizophrenic. You know, I tried to link it in some ways. But so, I love the arty movies. I like the impenetrable ones. I like the ones that are really tough and hard to like. I think movies should hurt. I don't get why people say, I like a feel-good movie. I feel good already. I don't expect a movie to make me feel good. I like a feel-bad movie. I like to come out, oh, that was torture. That's my idea. That's entertainment. Good night, all. Thank you very much for coming.